I brought some tubercle bacilli. And somebody who has active tuberculosis has coughed or sneezed or sung or whatever, and here they are out in the air. What happens next? They're inhaled by someone in the vicinity. And where do they go? Down the airways, down to the alveoli. This is an alveolus here. Okay. So here they are. Oops, pen cap. Here they are in the alveolus. What happens next? Do you know what happens next? Absolutely. We have alveolar macrophages patrolling our alveoli. And they phagocytize the TB organism. Now, what happens next? Why can't they kill it? You know, usually when a macrophage phagocytizes something, it takes it in and it's in a little membrane-bound vesicle called a phagosome. And how does it get rid of it? It fuses it with the lysosome. You know what this TB organism can do? It can change the pH inside the phagosome, so it will not fuse with the lysosome, and it's going to live in there. Whoa, it's living in there, and not only that, it's going to multiply in there. And someone mentioned it takes it somewhere else. Okay, it can take it to another part of the lung, or even stay in here, and it may kill the macrophage, and now we got them loose. And we're going to bring in more and more white blood cells, and eventually, as you mentioned, it's going to wall it off. If we can't kill it, let's put it in prison. So this is not to scale. You may have noticed my macrophage wasn't to scale either. Okay, so we're going to wall it off. We're going to put a whole bunch of immune cells, three-dimensionally, all over. It's like Edgar Allan Poe's short story, The Cask of Amontillado, if anybody's familiar with that. Just wall it up, okay, brick it up, cover it around with immune cells, and what do we call that thing? Okay, we call it a tubercle or a gone tubercle. Okay, so at this point, what does the person have? Latent tuberculosis infection. Exactly, exactly. So after the requisite number of weeks, are we going to see a positive tuberculin test? Absolutely.
What kind of metaphors or images do you think of when you think of your own teaching?
Actually, there's two that come to mind. One of them actually is a metaphor that I literally used the very first day of pathophysiology class. I bring a large soup pot, and I put a wig on it and paper eyes and a mouth, and at the during my course introduction, I say to the student, now I want to show you what the course is not and what the course is. And so what I do is I pop up with a whole basket of ingredients, and I pull up the lid of the soup pot, and I have a jar of kidney beans, a large jar, because it's a large class. And I pull up the lid and I say, this is what the class is not. And I dump the beans into the jar into the pan with a great clamor, and I slam the lid. The teacher has the beans, pours them into the students, and the students give them back. You know, regurgitate the knowledge. I said, that is what this course is not. And then I pull up all my ingredients and I say, we're going to make soup together. And I have brought these beans, but one of you has brought black beans. And you say, well, you know, in my culture, in my family, we use black beans, and so I put them in, and then I put in, you know, all kinds of potatoes and carrots and whatever, and then I pull out my big spoon and I say, okay, I'm the teacher, I'll stir it together, you know, I'll spice it up with a few spices, and we shall make soup together.
That's wonderful.
And that's my way of telling the students, you have within yourself things to bring to the class, and you need to contribute them, and we'll all interact together. So
that's a great metaphor. I love the illustration. So does the soup cook quick enough in the class?
I don't have a burner in there.
I'm salivating just thinking about it.
The other metaphor